My name is EMMANUEL MAMAH, and I'm the creative director and founder of MAMAH Studios. MAMAH Studio is a wedding and portrait brand. Our goal is to document the totality or like the happenings of your event. We shoot portraits and corporate events. Photography to me is capturing a timeless act or documenting a particular place at a particular time that lasts forever. That's what photography to me is. My top 5 weddings, I think I'll start with Ore and Kolakpo. Ore and Kolakpo, beautiful, like amazing couple. We had amazing and beautiful pictures because like you can tell when two couples are ready to face the world, like they are so in love, and getting married is just like a formality. They're ready, like they love each other. The way the Nigerian wedding is structured is we tend to do the trad wedding first before the white wedding. But in Ore and Kolakpo's wedding, it was totally different. Like we did the white wedding first before the trad. I had never shot a wedding that the white wedding came before the trad. So like that was like an amazing moment for me. Like I was surprised to see that happen. The synergy, the relationship they had, like you can tell from the way they look at each other that they are so in love, like they love each other. And that for me is timeless because you can pause and ask them to do this, and because of the love that they have in between them, will definitely result into a moment that you can document. Ore and Kolakpo's wedding was in Lagos, Nigeria, 2019. What really stood out for me in the wedding was the way the both family bonded. Like it was so hard to differentiate between who is the mother of the bride or the mother of the groom. The love between them was just, was amazing. Like I'm so confident they had a great time. Like the wedding was beautiful, was emotional. So there was a picture that I had where Kolakpo's sister was crying, and Kolakpo's sister's daughter was standing right beside her, and Kolakpo's, I think, younger sister was trying to wipe the tears of Kolakpo's elder sister, and her daughter was just standing right there looking at them. So like right there for me was just like a generation, like we're able to show them or put them in the theme of the wedding, and it was really, really beautiful. So my click moment in Ore and Kolakpo's wedding is, so in Yoruba custom, when the bride dances in and, the entire ceremony and all this stuff, you go in and you crown your husband, which is like you take his cap and then you give him, a new cap. And, there was Ore trying to, put the cap on Kolakpo's head, and we captured that, and that was really lovely. So this next wedding was Chamaka and Victor's wedding. Was in Lagos, Nigeria, 2019 as well. When you shoot two people from the two sides that have the same tradition and the same tribal beliefs, it's always more interesting because there are some certain things that you need to look out for. Like if you're standing in front of me, I'm looking out for that very angle where it's not your everyday angle. It's not what everybody sees, like what you even see about yourself. It's something that is there, but if you do not look carefully, you will not see it. I think that's like my selling point, the angles where I shoot from, the story I want to tell. Chamaka was a whole vibe. Like she was happy all through from the beginning to the end, very end of the wedding. She was excited. Like you could tell that, she's ready to get married to the love of her life. They're ready to take pictures, like they are pictures lovers. We were taking pictures and we had to, go late to church, and it was, but still she kept her head up and she was smiling all through the wedding. Like, it was a beautiful moment. So while I was trying to, move around and see an angle where I can shoot from, I saw the chairman and the chairman's wife. They were having a conversation about the way their first dance looked like during their wedding. And I saw that in between them, I could see Chiamaka and Victor dancing, having their moment together. And that, for me, was the click, was the shot. I want the image to explain itself. And those are the things that I always look out for, to tell a story of, what's going on in this, in this wedding. So that for me was the click moment. How do I describe a good day professionally? So myself, I go to my event with an outline of what I want to achieve. So if I end up, creating the entire thing on my list, I think for me, I think that's a really, good day. I get to relate and make people smile, make people happy, and get to, interact and shoot things that are mind-blowing, that are outside the box, that is not something your everyday, stand, look at me and smile. I think that's a good day professionalism for me. So this next wedding was Esther and Akosin. The booking of this event actually came pretty late. I think it came a week to their wedding. So I did not get to know or have an idea of who the couple were until the wedding day. So we got to the hotel and realized that it was Esther, and she was looking all radiant and beautiful and ready to go. And the wedding was different because they were both from Calabar, and documenting a wedding where the couple are from the same tribe, there's always a lot to look out for, because they tend to really pay attention to their traditions, their belief, the elders around. A really different wedding I think that was my first Calabar wedding. It was a white wedding in Lagos, Nigeria, 2019, and it's so simple and mind-blowing. When we got into Esther's hotel room, I realized that Esther was a really reserved and, gentle and an easygoing person. So as at that time, we had figured that everything we want to do has to be as classy and not too stressful for her. So from the images that we got from Esther and and a constant wedding, there were images where she was sitting, looking out the window, chin up, and then she had this really lovely veil that was really long, and so we kind of really played around, the veil, and her wedding dress was so beautiful and different. So we kind of really played around, the theme, what she was wearing, her personality, and her husband's personality as well. So we don't really, oftentimes I like to really stretch and, push the couple out of their comfort zone. But for Esther and Akonse, I realized that they were both too exciting but reserved. They just like their thing really, done in a certain way. So we kind of really created, the images around, their personality. And the event center was way too small for the number of guests that they had. So movement and the space was really, really small. And, for events like that, you have to be really careful on who you're blocking, where you're standing, and where you're shooting from. Weddings, you're just not the only one. There's a cinematographer trying to get the perfect shot as well. There's the MC, there's everybody, like you have to, manage and just create, where the magic you want to create around the small space. So for me, I think it was like we had limitation on movement, on the angles to shoot from, and situations like that. Like for my images, like I think I don't always want to shoot from where everybody can see. I like shoot from side, shoot from down, and all these things. So in this wedding, I think we were unable to really do a lot of that because like it was really a tight space. Like there was limitation in movement, and yeah. And my click moment was, so I had that seat really close to the curtain, the window, and I had this really amazing light coming in. And I remember that she had this really nice veil. So I asked the lady to, put the veil on her. And as soon as she put the veil on her, I saw the light, and I knew that was a shot. Like, light was just on her face, and the entire background was just totally dark. And that for me showed the makeup, the gown, the veil, and like that actually just told a story of the entire wedding setting. And that was it for me. That was my click moment. Shooting weddings is actually always a learning process. Like you shoot this event and your dull moments, you try to correct or make sure that it's better. So when you're shooting your next moment and you're having the same challenge, like you don't get to worry about how to go about it because like you already have an experience on how you went about it the last time. So for me, I think it was just more of trying to think deep on how you can, get the shot right. And, that was it for me. So this next wedding was Ajike and Ajibike's wedding. We shot the trad and the white, and was in Lagos, Nigeria. The wedding was really on a high profile. Like the event center was lit. The theme for the wedding was sweet. Like the energy was just over, like was beautiful. Just the way the name implies, Ajike, Azubike, you know that those are two different, ethnic groups in Nigeria. So it's good to know that in this generation now, the tribalism of you not getting married to somebody that is not in your, ethnic group is something that people do not really pay a lot of attention to anymore. So for me, like the love that was between the both parents, like you could tell that they were both in support of the wedding. There was love from, the both parents to the couple themselves, their siblings, their friends. You could just tell that this was a really love environment. And, those are not things that you get to see all the time. There were Igbo foods in the event. There were Yoruba food as well. I saw some Igbo people trying, Yoruba food, and Yoruba people trying Igbo food as well. Like the point where I got emotional for this wedding was the praying part, where the bride has danced into the hall and you kneel in front of your parents and they pray. The prayers from the father of the bride, I think the mother of the bride first, was mind-blowing. The prayers from the father of the bride was like directly, like they prayed for over 10 to 15 minutes. And we moved to the groom's family, where I thought that it was just going to be like something really small. And there was Bible verses flowing everywhere. And you could tell that, like they were in support of the wedding. Like the wedding was a pure love arena. Like there was just love everywhere. So for me, that actually, stood out. Because like we get to see where people just pray, but you can tell when there's power in prayer, in prayer. And trust me, that actually really stood out for me. Like, yeah. So my click moment for this wedding was Ajike. And when it was time for her to dance into the reception hall, she was dancing and dancing and dancing all. And suddenly she just went all kumole. So kumole is when you dance and you go low, 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 low. And that for me was, was a shot. Because like I said, like I always look out for that moment where I don't have to explain. Like you can see and you can, figure out what's going on here. Nobody kumoles when you're not excited. Like you can tell that she was so excited about the wedding. That's why she was dancing that low. So for me, that was my click moment. Like that was something that I was not, if I had missed that, I'm sure I would have never forgiven myself for that. So that was the show for me. The best way to document or to show a picture to your audience or to anybody that is watching or wants to see your picture is for you to imagine that you're dumb, that you cannot speak. And anybody that sees the image can actually interpret, what is going on in the picture. And for me, the image actually explains itself. Like I don't have to tell you, she was trying to, fit a scarf on his head. Like you can actually relate to that. My next wedding was Ajebo's and Uche's wedding. So Ajebo is somebody that we all know in Nigeria to be a comedian, and he was getting married, and the hype around when a celebrity is getting married, and so there was a lot of tension for myself and my team because we knew what was going to happen, because there will be a lot of celebrities in the house that they want to see images. There won't be enough time. It's something that everybody wants to see, the images from their wedding. So like there was a lot to be done from, documenting every step and making sure that, we had mind-blowing images from the wedding. So so Ajebo and Uche's wedding was, definitely was sweet and beautiful as well. Ajebo even cried in the church, and it was really beautiful. Like everybody knew Ajebo to be this, very funny, hilarious guy, and nobody really saw that coming. That I was going to really, break down into tears and cry and stuff like that. So he just really showed how much people love each other, and they're going to go all out for each other. So so Ajebo and Uche's wedding was really beautiful. We had amazing time, and the bridal train and the groomsmen, they stick to time. Everybody was ready at the same time. So we had, time to take pictures, bridesmaid images, groomsmen, compared to, what I was expecting that was going to be. Because when you shoot, an high profile wedding, everybody's coming with their A game. So everybody's trying to look as, fly as they can, everybody's trying to spend an extra time on their makeup, on their hair and stuff like that. So but the fact that they were ready at the same time actually really stood out for me. Like that was mind-blowing. I was surprised, like, everybody's ready and we're ready to go. And Ajebo and Uche's wedding their first dance was so beautiful. The way they looked at each other and the smile, the emotion was really something that really, really stood out for me. So there's a lot of photographers. Everybody wants to get to show images of, what was happening. There's the media house, there's ETV, there's, Ebony Live TV. There's just a whole lot of, media house, photographers, friends, and families with, you cannot really do a lot because you have to consider like, there's this person, you're in this person's shot, you want to create this, and the next person might not really, So that for me was, one of the challenges that we had at Ajebo's and Uche's wedding. So my click moment for Ajebo's and Uche's wedding was Uche's dress had a lot of detail on it. So I was trying to shoot the image where I can see the detail, and at the same time, I can get, to see a face in the image. And I just asked her to look down. And as soon as she looked down, I saw that I could see the detail of her dress, and at the same time, I could see her face. And that for me was, was my click moment, because in years to come, what she's going to look out for, the moment and the dress that she was wearing on her wedding day. So that actually stood out for me. Photography started like way back, just when I was out of school. And so there's this friend of mine, his uncle actually owned a photography studio, and he was looking for somebody who was going to help him manage the studio. I took the job. So as soon as I got into the studio, I realized that the camera had a lot of buttons, and I figured that this looked so technical, and I love, when things are really technical and you can always, play your way around it. And ever since then, photography just kept calling, and, ever since then, it has just been, a step at a time. And, presently, there's one photographer that really inspired me recently, and I think it has to be Akitayo Timi. Like, Akitayo Timi is somebody that I really look up to. Like, his images are timeless. There are images where you look at, and 15, 13, 20 years from now, you can still relate to, whatever is going on in that picture. Like I said, I try to always look out for, moments, pictures, images that you do not get to explain to people, and they can understand what's going on. So I think right now, Akitayo Timi is somebody that does, what I want to be like, or what I inspire to be like. Yeah, so I can say Akitayo Timi is like my really biggest, inspiration for now.